Hey everybody, it's me Edward Jones back with a new video. This video is titled Knowing and Maintaining Your Equipment. What that means is, if you're going to be buying a lot of stuff that you're going to be using to depend on your potential survival, then it's important to know how it works and how you keep it in proper running order. Right now I'm working on my truck, and what I'm doing right now is I'm doing some brake work. I noticed that my truck didn't have an e-brake cable, and so what I'm going to do, what I did yesterday, I installed it yesterday, but before I installed it, I had to take the drum off. That's what that big bowl-looking thing over there is. Cleaned up the brakes with some brake cleaner, and I found out that if you know anything about vehicles, you see there's a part missing. And that's how I discovered my drum brake yesterday. The parking brake strut was gone. So I figured what happened was the guy who owned it before, when I guess he ran something over, which probably ripped the parking brake out, and upon fixing it, figured he wasn't using it, so you might as well take out the parking brake strut. But now I use it, and I live in a hilly area, and I need to be able to put my parking brake on when I park on a slope. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm working on my truck. So I got some mechanic's gloves right there to protect my hands. And here's the wheel right here. There's some boards I'm going to be keeping parts on. See some other stuff. This is some of the tools that I'm using. Got some brake parts cleaner. Got a manual. Spare parts. Some mineral spirits. This is messy from yesterday. That's some of the stuff. You see how dark it is. That's from the stuff I cleaned up off the drum brake. And a good rag. The reason I'm doing this video, like I said, I want to encourage people who are investing in tools that they believe will save their lives or prevent any danger from occurring to them, to know how to know your equipment. This truck is my piece of equipment, and I'm trying to make sure that I can keep it in proper running order. You notice right there, I got some. The paint looks off. What happened was that area was damaged before I bought the truck, and so what I did was it was bare metal, and I decided to at least spray paint over it to keep it from rusting. It's not the right color. I mean, it's red, but not the same shade of red. But I just don't want the truck to rust any more than it is right now. It does have some rust on the frame, some rust on the exhaust. Follows over there. The leaf springs are real good. Also, with knowing your equipment, knowing what your equipment's limitations are. Like this truck, for instance, I know how fast I'm able to go up certain hills, and if I have traffic behind me, I try to stay on the right lane so that everyone can pass around me. I know how to shift very well, and I've had to learn how to just driving this thing in the city has been a learning experience. But the more I drive, the more I know about the truck, which means I'm better able to handle it, and when I'm stressful. I've actually been able to drive and shift fairly well when I was half asleep. I had to drive a friend somewhere, and he just woke me up, and I was driving him and going up hills and shifting, and I just realized that I'm still tired, but I was able to drive the truck pretty well. Not that I advocate that people drive, when they're impaired, but sometimes the situation may call for it if it's of somewhat of an urgent matter. He had to be at work. He had his transportation was stolen from him, and so I'm helping him out. But with that being said, if I know that I'm going to be buying this truck and driving it as much as I am, then I better know how to do some of the repair work myself. And I encourage a lot of people to do the same thing. Whether you got a pressure canner, whether you got various guns, various power tools, or even hand tools, know how to use them, know how to use them properly, and also know how to maintain them. If you have knives, learn how to keep them sharpened. If you have guns, learn how to keep them cleaned. If you have any tool that has, like I did over here, that has exposed metal that is prone to rusting, use a rust preventive method to keep it in good working order. But that's my video. I'm going to get back to working on this truck. I'm Edward Jones, and thank you for watching my video.